Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
What's up, YouTube? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Race to 100. I'm Neil Batang.
I'm Rick Storcell, and this is episode 121. On Monday, the UN declared that there is officially a famine now happening in South Sudan. This is caused in large part to a civil war that's been going on over the course of the past couple of years. You ask yourself, what are some of the worst places in the world right now to live in? A lot of times these kind of situations go overlooked, right? You think, what's a bad place to live? Oh, the Middle East, Russia, that kind of thing.
The south side of Chicago.
South side of Chicago. Whereas you have an instance where there's no food left in South Sudan because the aid workers aren't able to get in anymore because of the civil war. Exactly. So this has been an ongoing crisis, and finally it just broke. The UN aid workers had to end up pulling out. The UN has finally officially designated it a famine.
They say, over 250,000 kids are dying of starvation due to war, due to the recent inflation. Their currency has jumped like 800% in the past 12 months.
Disease,
disease. It's just
famine,
tough to make it by. So it's just crazy, Rich, because growing up as a first generation African, I would always talk to my parents, and they, Africans are very, they're very fortunate for where they are in Western countries, and they stress the importance of being appreciative, making sure that you don't take any of your blessings or resources for granted. We don't ever throw away food. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like one of my family's biggest pet peeves. Like, if there's food there, you eat it. If you can't eat it, you give it to someone else, because there are literally people dying in countries neighboring Cameroon that don't have this food in abundance.
So that's like a very personal thing for
Exactly.
you, is that you seen this sort of devastation where it comes to people just not having enough to eat, or is that far enough removed over the borders from Cameroon?
And Africa, starvation is I mean, no matter what country you're in, you've got those areas where people are starving. The only difference is they lack the resources to help those that need to be fed. They don't have government aid, no food stamps, no welfare, no dinner lines and stuff where people can get a free meal. You know what I'm saying? I would always bring up the issue of, can people donate money to causes? Kind of like in the United States, you donate money, you raise a bunch of money, you buy food for people, everyone gets happy and pats themselves on the back. But people have said that African politics are so corrupt that if you give money to the government, the elected officials will take that and eat that for themselves instead of giving it to the less fortunate / those who need it more.
Well, and you have places like South Sudan where you have people our age who all they've known is war. They're not ready to move into the workforce, that they don't have skills necessary not to be soldiers. All they know how to do is be soldiers. Yeah. And so you can't put them to work to improve the economy if they don't know how to do that. There's not really any good solution right now.
And that's what makes what President Trump said, and a lot of conservatives who support him, that's what makes it so frustrating, because when you compare the south side of Chicago to a place like South Sudan, South side of Chicago, South Chicago to South Sudan, the reason why these people in the south side of Chicago act the way they do, violence, they're poor, these inner cities are just lacking whatever it takes to empower themselves, is because of opportunities or lack thereof that keep them from growing. And we compare this to South Sudan, and I'm just like, no, because in South Sudan, these people don't really have a choice. In America, we do. Yeah. We have the means and resources to uplift people here, but we're consciously choosing not to. Whereas in South Sudan, in Africa, they don't have the means and resources to uplift their people. So you can't compare these two tales. They're literally apples and oranges.
And that's where, that I'll just make a brief pitch, that's where having an effective government comes into play, because we don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. When you don't have an effective government, when you have a government that's in chaos, you get what happens in South Sudan.
No, but we have an effective government, but they're just Again, Ricks, I don't really think they care. I don't really think they care, but then that's something we can talk about another time, something we've been disputing for literally years now. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more access to episodes of Race to 100. We appreciate all of your support. I'm Neil Boutin.
I'm Rick Starcell, and we will catch you next time on the Race to 100.